Hey guys, I'm back with another part to my build. I haven't got the rear axle mounts, but I saw somebody just drilled a hole through the axle and mounted the shocks like that, so I did the same thing for right now. I still have the shock mounts coming in, but right now it is a very nasty day in Alabama. It's been raining for like, I don't know, like so many days straight. But we got a little bit of mud right here where the water's just been pulling up in the dirt, and I want to see what this thing will do. Now this thing is pretty fast. Check out what kind of speed I can get with it. It's even fast enough to flip itself over. Interesting. This is my neighbor's yard. He's got this really deep, it's always like a water hole. The motor's starting to show that it really does not like the mud. You see that the whole electronics at one point in time are just submerged. I guess the ESC is not that bad. Well, this thing is not a rock crawler by any means, but we'll see what it can do on this little rock right here. If I can get it, I gotta hit it a little bit quick, kind of force the front bumper up. Victorious. Haha. Let's get up on there. Look at that. It's crazy. I got all this stuff in the background of the yard and stuff, but it'll be alright. We can edit some of that stuff out. It's victorious. Well guys, there you have it. That's the first run of my CC01 without the body. The body's still in the works. It's being painted. This Fly Sky radio is actually it's hacked and modified, and it's ridiculously hard to figure out how to operate. If someone can tell me what firmware is on it, I would be so happy. It has 40 channels. If that's a hint for you, it has 40 channels for model memory. So it's definitely one of the older ones. Only I cannot find the firmware list anywhere, but if I can find out what version I have, I can search it and probably find a manual so I can learn how to program it. You see it's kind of raked really bad. The front shocks have worn in a little bit, so they're starting to get a little bit of droop. The back ones are just way too stiff, they're way too high. But that's just for right now, just so I can run it. I literally did that in like 3 minutes. All I had to do was drill 2 little holes and stuff in. Here we go. Let's see if it'll focus. Focus! Maybe it won't. But all I had to do was drill in a couple holes and and put in like some spacers and stuff just so that they'll fit in there for right now. All that marine grease did really awesome to protect the bearings and stuff. Even right here on the yoke where I put the grease, you can feel where it's just stopping the water from getting in there. It's working pretty good. Even down there on the dog bone. I don't know if I did a video, but I eliminated a lot of this front end slop that I had. The only slop I have now is actually in the bearings themselves, whereas these aluminum carriers are just, they're really bad tolerance, and the bearings flop around inside of it. And in these little balls here, the the Tamiya balls. Everything else, there's no play. And what I did was put a little bit of shim right here, and a little bit of shim right here. And see, I put them on different spots. This one's on the front, this one's on the back. And that's to bring the overall bias of the slop of this, the hub right here, the C-hub, forward the length of the two shims. And I did that because on the body, these hubs were, the wheels were just a little bit too far back. So by putting those shims in this way, instead of having them on the same, where it would keep that like bias the same way, it wouldn't really help me any. So it did help me out a lot with that. Let's see, I'll turn this off just so I can turn the wheel. If you look in there from the top, there's also a little metal shim between the upper arm and the aluminum piece, so that eliminates that slop. And then there's another one in there. I had to grind this knuckle down so I can fit it in there, but once I fit it in there, it eliminated all that slop that was in the front end. So overall, that turned out really good. And you can see I run it through mud and water and grass, and well, there's not a lot of dirt anymore, but I will run it in dirt whenever the time comes. And it seems to hold up pretty fine. I like it so far. The GPM steering, some people have had problems with it. Let me see if after my first run. No, after my first run, it's still nice and solid in there. So maybe people say it gets a little sloppy over time. And the one guy, RC Mojo, I think, did a pin where it goes through there. I'm probably not going to do the whole pin thing. I might find something else. I might do a little dab of a TIG welder to actually just weld the two pieces together instead of doing bolts and pins and stuff, you know, but that's just me. During my video, the motor started having problems, like when the dirt and stuff got in there. Well, that's to be expected, but I might upgrade to a different motor, maybe a 55 turn, and then I'll run 3-cell, just because I can. But I love this speed controller. The Traxxas speed controllers are waterproof. They're almost bulletproof. They can hold a ridiculously large amount of amps, and they run 3-cell. So I do pretty much any configuration I can really think of, and they'll hold up to a really low turn motor. So you can really get that power on a 3-cell on, like, you know, a lower turn. So, but you see, I didn't have any glitches or any problems. The motor was the only problem with all the water. Even when it was submerged completely, it still worked just fine. I've been doing this whole waterproof thing for a while, but I haven't had a Tamiya yet, and I love these wheels. It's just hard to get over those wheels. I did turtle a few times. Turtle means upside down. I did turtle a few times. The grip on these tires is just awesome for the amount of speed, so I might slow it down and give it a little bit more torque with a different motor. I don't know how many this is, but I'm pretty sure it's more than 25 turns, because the lowest that the Tamiya speed controllers goes is 25 turns, so it has to be more than 25 turns. I don't know how much it is though, but I can go up to like a 35 or 45 or even a 55 if I want to be like super slow. But a 55 turn on 3-cell shouldn't be too much slower than it is right now. But I hope you like it. It's taken me forever to get it all where I want it to. I went and painted the body, but as soon as I sprayed the paint on it, it just run off because it was still cold. So I'm doing some stuff right now. I'm re-prepping it and doing more sanding and priming on it. So hopefully it'll be ready here soon. But thanks for watching. Just remember, I'm on Ultimate RC all the time. There's a Tamiya forum and there's a rock crawler forum, and I believe this thread is on both of those forums. So and I do check them sometimes. just because. Oh yeah, another mod I did right here. This bumper, or the body mount. You see it's upside down. It should be, this little thing should be down here a little bit, but it raised it up a little bit just because I flipped this whole piece upside down and gave me a little bit of almost like a body lift, so on the front. Oh, and I did shave, I shaved the arms right here on the inside, so that way I can get almost like a lift out of it if I do more preload, because factory is like here and I can go up like that much. So not a lot, but a little bit, and it does help. Every little bit helps. But alright guys, Ultimate RC is where you'll find me.